Aftershow stream to kick in. Ramsey show ending.
Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.
And the Aftershow beginning. And one more link to put in. There we go. Ready. Alrighty, got the 420 subscribers, dude. What up, Tat? Show number 329, July 28, 2022. And we'll do what we normally do. First thing. And that is, what is that message? Oh, just a message of something that Streamlabs, OBS, is doing. That's what I use to broadcast, simulcast my streams to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. What will we do first is we sing this song and we listen for the drum taps. Like all plans, it starts with step one. $1,000 emergency fund. Step two, you'll pay off all your debt. Step mortgage, we don't do that yet. So pay off your consumer debt. Every one of the charges, from smallest to largest. Baby step 3 is next. Full emergency fund of expenses. You stay good till intensive. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I come, that's why I told you, and why I host this YouTube show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have financial peace, then you should do Dave's baby steps. Step 4 is when you can take a breath and go, let's go sailing in Vail. Step 5 is to save for your kids. No student loans at all for college. 6 is to pay off your home. Step 7, build your wealth and don't keep it all yourself. And you've lived like nobody else. And now you get to live large, and now you get to give large. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I come, that's why I told you, and why I host this YouTube show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have financial peace, you should do Dave's baby steps. Trumpet, take it out. Live from Columbus, OH. It's the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, brought to you by D.H. Schumann. Here we talk about the Ramsey Show YouTube chat, and the people in it, and all things financial, and whatever else I want to talk about. I'm your host, Coach Steve Money. I'm a certified Ramsey Solutions financial coach, and you can schedule a free consultation assessment at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. The link's at the top of the chat. That's better. On top of the chat and in the video description below and to the right side of my YouTube banner. You can email me about anything, anything, at CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. Instagram is Coach Steve Money, no spaces. Alrighty. Oh, one moment. Alright, sorry about that. Let's see, where'd my notes go? There they are. Today's Ramsey Show hosts on an all-new show are Dave Ramsey, because it's not Friday yet, it's Thursday. And his co-host was friend of the After Show, author of Own Your Past, Change Your Future. Always forget that one. Author of the Questions for Humans card set. Oh, we call him Dr. D, as you can see, but his parents named him John Deloney. Oh, he's got 2 PhDs, 2 more than me, plus he's got some other certs. John Deloney, never gonna gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out. At the top, I'm the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. Oh, he takes a call and then draws his pen and keeps the day again. John Deloney. Oh, this dude has got some range, sees it'll change. Is what you're going through, says John Deloney. Never gonna stop, gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always works it down. At the top, I'm the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. John Deloney. Set a brilliant mind, anxiety redefined, and put in a quick refine. John Deloney, wealth and down at the face, they didn't place, but they probably still in fun with John Deloney. Never gonna stop, gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out. And the clock, I'm the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. John Deloney. John Deloney. John Deloney. John Deloney. All right. Market report. And it wasn't scrolled back up. I love it when it's this music instead of the other music. Alrighty, so today the highest up was the Russell Small Cap Index, 1.34%, followed by the S&P 500, 1.21%, and then the NASDAQ, 1.08%, and Dow Jones, 1.03%. And basically they all followed this path, basically, whereas they started up in the morning and then they were like, oh no, and then the GDP numbers came out and they said, well, whatever. And as you can see, it kept going up from there. A little bit of downage right there, but they all are about the same for today. This is just the one day. As you can see by the timestamps there, Dow Jones, like that, about the same type of thingy, and the Russell as well, a little bit more up to begin with, but then followed basically the same path as all the rest of them. I think with the small cap being up that much and the S&P as well, I think I may have some competition for fantasy mutual funds, which I won very easily today with yesterday's big NASDAQ number. And speaking of NASDAQ numbers, let's do a reload on that. Reload. The most up in after hours trading, NASDAQ at 2.05, followed by S&P 1.76, and the Dow by 1.08. All those are additives or gains instead of going down, which is what we like, right? We like that. Oh, let's see what we got here. Oh, today Apple came out. Yeah, 5. But they were good. I heard in the read in the Ramsey show chat, somebody reported in there that the that Amazon met its earnings, expected earnings. As you can see, it's gone way up. The after hours trading right there is in the gray. For the Apple, let's see, it went up 0.36% today, and in after hours trading 3.49%. So NASDAQ could have a really big day tomorrow. Let's see what it says. Profit falls about 11%, but iPhone growth slows. Reports record revenue of $83 billion though, and they beat on revenue and profit. They beat expectations even though the growth slowed and the profit falls. The profit falls about 11%, so they must have expected that profit would fall even more than that for it to beat the projections on the profit. So, yep. Yeah, that's the best thing to do, is probably not look at it so much. But it's something I do for the show. It's a segment for the show, so I do that. I also play the fantasy mutual funds as well, which we in the Ramsey show chat, a bunch of us regulars in the morning that are there pretty much all day. And we use our actual mutual funds instead of just pretend like there's some fantasy mutual or fantasy stock, fantasy investment. You can buy single stocks, and so I don't know if you can even do mutual funds in those, but basically you can compete with your friends and you pretend to buy those things, and it just keeps track. And then I guess if you make a lot of money in the fantasy game, then you're like, oh, I wish I'd done this in real life. All right, and Amazon.com earnings came out at 5:30 p.m. And let's see, 1.08% up during the day today. Then after hours, 13.24%. As you can see, immediately whoosh, right as that actually before that information came out, because that information came out at 5:30, so yeah, beforehand. So Amazon must have gone up. Either they got leaked early, or the Apple news made everybody think, oh, it'll probably go up then. So, and it's still climbing a little bit. So, what up, Spring? Good to have you briefly, then not at all. Absolutely, positively. Absolutely. No, what is it? Absolutely, positively. That's in some song, I think. Tomorrow we got Exxon and Chevron. Find out a little about some gas happening. Occidental Petroleum. More gas on the August 2nd, and which is Tuesday. And AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Most followed single stocks on the Google, as we reported before, 0.36 for Apple, 1.08. Meta Platforms, though, down on a day when every other NASDAQ stock seems to have gone up. Meta Platforms down big, 5.22% down. Artist formerly known as Facebook. Looks like Microsoft went up the most today for this, 2.85. Just for fun, let's see what they did in the after hours. After hours 0.29, so it got all its gains today, and so not gonna be up that much right now. That's interesting. I always find it interesting where it's going like that, and then all of a sudden it goes a straight line down. And once again, I think it's computers set to buy or sell once it gets to a certain number, and I think that does many shares at one time, and then that's why those straight lines happen, I believe. I think. Okay, so did I talk about all the? Yeah, I talked about all the most followed single stocks. Oh, in the Europe. Checking out the rest of the planet, mostly up in Europe, mostly up in Asia as well. Let's see how the dollar did. Up against the euro, down against the Japanese yen, down against the British pound love, down against the Canadian dollar, and down against the Australian dolomite. There will be shrimp on the barbie tonight. See what our pals in crypto are doing. They're all up as well. The most up is the Ethereum at 6.06, and this does not stop at 4 p.m. when the markets close. This goes 24 hours, your crypto tracking. Let's see if this did anything since I last refreshed it. Yeah, now it's at 2.17% for the NASDAQ, 1.85 for the S&P, and 1.12. So that's still going up slightly. So we'll see what it does in for the rest of after hours and the before market trading session, and then when the market opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's see, this from Reason.com, Civil Liberties section. What is the FBI trying to hide about its raid on innocent American safe deposit boxes? This was interesting. Federal prosecutors want to keep key details about the planning and execution of the March 2021 raid at U.S. private vaults, that's a company, out of the public sight. Let's see. First, the FBI raided a private business to seize safe deposit boxes and assets belonging to hundreds of people who were not suspected of having committed any crimes. Now, prosecutors are trying to keep the public in the dark about why the brazen forfeiture effort was undertaken in the first place, and are offering a little justification for why such secrecy is necessary. So, I mean, I guess that it could be that maybe they thought one of them was a drug kingpin or something like that. Who knows? Who knows why? But they're trying to keep it private. And this, 2 months out from Halloween, Hershey says it won't be able to meet the Halloween demand this year. So, and that means they know 2 months ahead of time, and they're not able to correct that 2 months ahead of time. That's Kit Kat. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. This year you might be out of luck in the candy aisle where will not be able to fully meet consumer demand for the October holiday, warned Hershey CEO Michelle Buck in prepared remarks about the company's second quarter results Thursday. The problem, consumers are demanding more regular and Halloween-themed candy than Hershey can make, at least right now. Many consumer goods manufacturing has been struggled to meet surging demand for their products during the pandemic, especially with the ongoing supply chain issues. And yeah, that's a continuing thing. Demands for sweets surged during the pandemic and has remained high. That's interesting as well. People love the sugar. Sugar. In addition to capacity constraints, the company is still struggling with disruptions along the supply chain, as we said, including higher dairy prices and scarce ingredients. In order to get the ingredients it needs, Hershey has to source them from other suppliers, which is costly. These issues are largely related to the war in Ukraine. Oh yeah, I think Russia makes a bunch of chocolate. I can't remember. Maybe it's Ukraine that does that. No. Also in food news, Beyond Meat stock falls after conclusion of McDonald's McPlant test. McDonald's said it has concluded that test of the McPlant burger as planned. Analyst research reported lackluster demand for the meatless burger, which is made using Beyond Meat patties. McDonald's sells the McPlant burgers in several European markets, but hasn't announced the nationwide launch for the menu item in its home market yet, which would be America. So the after hours for McDonald's going up, the Beyond Meats going down as well. People ain't going to McDonald's thinking about eating healthy. That's the opposite of going to McDonald's. Seen in business, this region is suffering from some of the highest inflation in America. Here's how locals are surviving. I was wondering where this was. Oh, Riverside, California. No wonder it's the highest inflation, highest cost of living area. California, the state rather. For 17 years, Anna Duran worked full-time as a travel counselor. Late last year, she lost that job shortly before seeing the price of eggs rise to $7.99 a dozen and the price of a single avocado rise to $2.99 at her local store. So maybe, just maybe, you don't buy those expensive items. You buy cheaper items, or you move out of California. Let's see. So what are they doing? Saw a 9.4 annual inflation rate in May. I think the whole thing was 9.1 for the whole country. So for the extra 3%, you ought to be able to handle an extra 0.3%. Excuse me. You ought to be able to handle that unless you already can't afford where you're living. Oh, so average says 8.6 for May. So maybe it went down. Maybe they revised it down. I thought it was 9.1. Anyway, one of the key factors contributing to higher inflation in the Inland Empire is population growth during the pandemic. People moved from big cities to neighboring counties that were relatively more affordable, like Riverside and San Bernardino counties. That spurred demand for goods and services to a region where supply is not quite caught up. Well, that makes sense. Let's say Tat looks only at his investments every 2 weeks when we get paid, right? Money is direct deposited in the account, but they don't do automatic investing, so we look and invest what was deposited every 2 weeks. Yeah, it's good to keep an eye on it in case it like makes a drastic change, and still even then you want to have like a continued succession of bad results before you bother to sell it and replace it with a different mutual fund. Chemicals and preservatives in that crap is worse than just eating real meat, says Tat. I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about the taste of it. Tat says plant some avocados in the backyard. That's a good Oh, the person doesn't buy chicken anymore. Don't buy meat anymore. Just eat tuna. Scam likely. While the price of decline is price of gas has declined slightly. Sorry. In the last month, the average cost of a gallon of gas, regular gas in Riverside on July 25th, was still more than $5.60. It is $2.99 here. Or $2.89. No, $2.89. Keeps dropping a lot. That was like 10 cents down from yesterday here in Columbus, OH. The cost of groceries and gas have forced her to cut back, gone to the drives to the mall to walk around or cool off. She conducts errands by phone or pass instead of visiting a business or other location. Yeah, you do what you can do. After losing a job, selling gold jewelry and recycling aluminum cans in order to make ends meet, could also get a different job. Collecting recyclables. $1.37 per pound of recyclables. Could get a different job. Bum, bum, bum. Buying discounted food close to expiration. I always recommend that. You go. Normally they have it clearly marked which foods are marked down because they are close to expiration. But normally they still have a good 2 or 3 days left, and all you gotta do is make sure you eat them within that 2 or 3 days, and you're all fine. So that's definitely something that I would suggest. Food banks, relying on neighbors. Families face highest increase in food prices in 40 years. That's everywhere. So once more, it's just going to be, you don't get a pass on math for living in California. Nobody's going to feel bad. Oh, this is from Yahoo Finance, and as you can see, this is a graphical representation of what the market did today. Pause that. As you can see right there, where it's in the red is the negative. Crude up today a little bit. Gold up 0.16% as well. Dave Ramsey does not recommend commodities such as crude oil, nor gold, no metals. Let's see, but this is about how Tesla and GM could benefit from deal to expand electric vehicle tax credits. And I don't know about GM, but Tesla, since it's not a union shop, they don't currently get the government tax credit because, in a highly political move, the only people that get the electronic vehicle tax credits are the union shops. So let's see what this says. In a surprising move to even Capitol Hill insiders, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia struck a deal on a reconciliation bill, which, among other things, includes $369 billion on energy and climate spending. Of course it does. Of note for automakers like GM and Tesla and Toyota and others is new money for the expansion of the 7,500 federal electric vehicle tax credit. Oh, this is for the buyers, not for the this is for the consumers, not for the companies. Oh, currently Tesla and GM are no longer eligible because they've hit the 200,000 unit threshold for the credit. Interesting. So they did well, so they're being punished. Let's see, the new deal removes the 200,000 unit threshold, allowing GM and Tesla to once again receive those full bennies. However, there's some limitations. They're now more targeted towards lower priced electric vehicles, always say electronic, and those people under a certain income threshold. According to draft of the bill, the full 7,500 EV credit only applies to these vehicles. Vans, SUVs, and pickup trucks costing less than $80,000. Others, meaning sedan and coupes, costing less than $55,000. Also of note is the inclusion of a new federal tax credit of $4,000 for used electric vehicles. I wonder if that would apply to George Camel's 2013 Tesla that he bought. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if that is like backdated towards other things this year or if it just starts today. But I'm sure he'll check in on that to see if that happens. Boom, boom, ba-dum, bum, boom. Tesla's gas 370. That's up there. That's Texas, right, Tat? Am I right about that? I forgot. Yep, punished for being successful. Government loves to do that. Government do take a bite, don't you? This is from Different Luck 6015. Different underscore luck underscore 6015. Advice. Been doing the baby steps for around 2 years now. Currently on baby step 2, with $18,000 remaining in student loans. Cool. Currently live with my sister who just finished her internship to become a registered dietitian. Her lifestyle is starting to give me anxiety as she currently has no job other than DoorDash and barely had money for rent. If she's finished her internship, she ought to have a job, right? You would think. I've told her that having a job is better than no job. But she refuses to get a job that is beneath her as she has a degree but can't use it until after she takes her test. All right. Well, I mean, you might have to get out of there and live with somebody else. I mean, you're living with her. She gets to live her life the way that she wants to, regardless of your anxiety on it. And so some people are like that. They refuse to get a job that's beneath them or what they think is beneath them, more accurately. She's constantly complaining about being broke, yet the poor people always do. The people that are spending too much money always do, yet won't do anything to fix the situation. They always do. I'm worried that she's not going to have any money for rent, leaving me to pay for the entire rent myself. I'm really tired of attitude and not being responsible for obligations. Move out. I've been taking on all of the utility, food costs, and most of the rent until she gets a job. If you do that, nothing is pushing her to get a job. But even after that, she has more than $150K in student loans to pay for. This drives me nuts. Any advice? Move out. Let's see if it's like, yeah, move out. Move out is the first one. Let's see if it comes back in there. She definitely doesn't do those hours. A lot of people say move out. I mean, it will cost more than $5K to get out of the lease and move, so I don't think that will happen. Oh, if you're on the lease too, yeah, that's on you, dog. Yep, stay in there. And let's see, if she wasn't my sister, I'd kick her out, seek a lawyer to get her off of that. Yeah, don't want to ruin the relationship. Well, then live with the anxiety then. Getting nothing in return after. That's not anxiety. That's you being mad. That's different than anxiety. Being pissed off is different. I mean, he means everything. I mean, it could all be solved by her getting a job, really. Yeah. Think you recognize it won't be that easy? Right. Well, technically, it is my money when she's on the lease, but she would never move out. It doesn't. You'd have to make her. Unless if her name isn't on the lease, you can make her move out. Parents currently paying for the interest. Oh, that's the $800 per month is oh, that's the student loans. Okay. Yeah, there's other stuff going on here though. So yeah. So if you see somebody doing incorrect things with money, like if you had any indication that she was doing incorrect things with money before, you should not have let her move in to your apartment or condo or house or whatever you live in. Rent. Just says rent. Doesn't say apartment or house. Yep. As soon as the lease is up, then and then you go get something on your own. Beginning baby steps. Baby step 2 flare. Federal hyphen mode 7702. And hey, I've always had an interest in personal finance and have been watching the Dave Ramsey show for quite a bit now, and thought what better place to come with a few questions and open discussion. Background info: I'm 18, graduated high school, just begun my process for enrolling in college. I'm working on baby step 1, but I have baby step 2 there. Maybe the question is about baby step 2. I'll be done with it by the end of August. I work at a local fast food restaurant offering tuition reimbursement. Excellent. And will be studying accounting and finance. Question: I'm hyper-focused on graduating debt-free and would like some advice. Total cost of attendance, including books and fees for the 2-year program, will be $14,000. My company will cover up to $7,875 of the degree. That's over half of it. Excellent. And the work schedule is very flex. However, I want to focus on my career options and look for an entry-level position in a small accounting firm. However, I won't get tuition reimbursements. Overall, my question is, what should my game plan be going forward to pay for college loans before I graduate? Any help is appreciated. Don't do loans is the advice. So if you're doing baby steps, step 0 is deciding no more loans, so you don't do loans. Unfortunately, if you've already gotten them, use that loan to pay it back if you can, and try to cash flow it if you at all can. If not, you got to pay them off as soon as possible, but then you don't take out another loan to pay for the next semester, etc., etc. 43 comments on that, so I'm sure they were all over that. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, you're just and people do it wrong all the time. It's not on here, but baby step 0, part of it is that you decide that debt is not an option anymore. You're not going to do that. So no loans. Hey, scholarships, grants, working more. You could work more. You could work at the place you are at, and then your second job could be in the field that you're going to be in. That's pretty good advice. But people don't. It's usually the answer is usually what they haven't said. Should I do this or this? And normally it's option 3 is the answer. Someone had to move to make the baby steps work. We have done that one already. Slow news day today. Let's check to see if there's anything else on the finance page. Otherwise, we'll call it a stream early today. Let's see. Intel CFO says we're on the bottom after company misses earnings and stock sinks. It was down 1.17. Is that the daily or the after hours? After hours down 8.44. So 1.7 during the day today and 8% more. There we go. Yep. So I mean that is the bottom for them probably. So that would mean it's on sale and probably going up, back up, because it's still Intel. So you never know. They could miss earnings a second report in a row, and then that might be another problem. Let's see. Instagram looks like TikTok style changes. Excuse me, because they don't want to be TikTok, or because people push back because they're turning into TikTok. Let's see. Strong Apple Amazon reports. We talked about that already. Chick-fil-A store asked volunteers to work for chicken, not money. They did ask for volunteers. They did do that. This one particular store that is short-staffed, they did do that. That it was a Facebook post, and that Facebook post got pulled. I read about that yesterday and almost included it in the after show, but didn't. So they pulled it. But the store manager was gave the impression that it was still an option. So like you could get 5 meals for every hour that you worked. And they were just gonna have them work the drive-through. Did this one yesterday. Joey Chestnut ate 44 Cane's chicken fingers in 5 minutes on National Chicken Finger Day, which was yesterday. U.S. senators condemn Fidelity Investments, Bitcoin 401k, an open letter. They don't want you to have Bitcoin in the 401k, I guess. Maybe because of the same reason Dave Ramsey doesn't recommend any cryptocurrency, because it doesn't have the track record yet. Let's see, solar investment tax credit to be extended 10 years at 30%. That's probably from that same deal that Chuck Schumer and Manchin agreed to. Oh, no, different. As written in the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, the tax credit will begin at 30% and step down to 26% in 2033 and 2022 and 2034. Okay, so you got, that's a lot of years. That's 11 years, dude, for it to be 30%. So I'll have to tell a friend of mine in the Ramsey Show chat. That would have been Tina Scher. And I'll have to tell her about that. 30% tax credit for getting the solar. Senator Joe Manchin and Democrats reached an agreement on a reconciliation bill dubbed the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. The bill includes $370 billion for renewable energy and climate measures. That would be one of the most impactful provisions in the bill. Would be what I just said, the 30% 10-year extension of that tax credit, investment tax credit for getting solar panels. One measure that was hoped for but was not in the bill was the refundability clause. Refundability means that if the tax credit value exceeds taxes owed on the year, it would be paid as a cash refund. Well, I mean, if you don't have to pay any taxes, if you don't have to pay any taxes at all, you don't need the cash refund probably. But so it's not included, regardless of how you feel about it. Several adders for the tax credit, depending on the type of organization. Roth Capital Partners said that the investment tax credit could reach as high as 50% for some projects with the right adders applied. Also includes the direct pay provision. This would allow a developer with little or no tax liability to treat the amount of credit as an overpayment of tax, which would result in a cash payment refund and the amount of such overpayment being made to the developer. Okay, so that would be a cash back from that. Bill is expected to head to the Senate floor for a vote as early as next week, but since it has been voted on already and as a reconciliation bill, basically that takes your House version and your Senate version and basically makes them into one version that everybody can agree on, usually. So most likely that will pass. Usually that's what happened. I think sometimes it has not. Spring up again. Tat says crypto and a 401k sounds awful. Yeah, especially let's check it out. If you've had it in there for a long time, if you've had Bitcoin for a long time, year to date down almost 50%. Down almost 50% for the year to date. 40% for the 1 year. 5 years it's going to be up 638% if you've had it 5 years, because you bought it. You bought it when it was that low, almost zero down there, as you can see. What would that be? About $3,500 maybe. Yeah, about 3,500 where it was starting right there, and then there you go. So, but the 1 year 40%, and the year to date is 50% down. So yeah, you don't want your 401k to be 50% down ever. It would not be fun. Tad says, just gotta be careful with solar. Too many shady companies trying to get people hooked on payments. Yeah, that's true. You gotta pay cash. No loans for that. That's no different than anything else. A lot of people think that. A lot of people be using, oh, well, it's for the house. I'll just use a home equity line of credit for that. Don't do that. No loans, no borrowing for anything except the mortgage itself. Well, it's attached to the house. That should count. Nope. Negatory. Good buddy. Alrighty. Upcoming streams. I finished Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, last night. Next game I play, I think, will be Stray. And yeah, that's on the, will be on the, I think it's on multiple platforms, but I'll be playing it on PlayStation 4, where it will be free for me, along with many other games after I pay like $15 or something like that to upgrade my current PlayStation Plus membership to the Extra. I have the PlayStation Plus Essential right now, which gives you 2 or 3 games a month free. And for as long as you hold that membership. And the Essentials is the next version of it. I forget how many, but it's hundreds of games, I think. Hundreds of games. And the brand new game, Stray, just came out, and it's being included in that. This show, of course, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, the Ramsey Show, Aftershow show. And I'm live, even if there's a repeat. Dave probably off tomorrow on Friday. But usually there will, due to the co-host, due to the other personalities, there normally is a live show, even when he's out. Tech support with Coach Steve Money, probably another one this weekend. Curse of Oak Island. Not back on until about November, but if there's a special summer show, like an update thing or whatever, or a preview or something like that, I will recap that one as well. Tat says that financing a couch because it's in the house, yep, is the same as financing solar because it's attached to the house. Alrighty, as I said, 420 subscribers, a new high for me. Had 419 for a while, went down to 418, but then last night it went back up to 420, and that's probably because I've not been doing as many streams lately, but I will be trying to do more of those, especially because I'll have all those games to play in the PlayStation Plus Extra tier. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, my links are at the top of the chat, video description below, and on the right side of my YouTube banner. I'm Steve Simpson, otherwise known as Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com. Just click the link, click financial coaching, and up will pop a calendar, and you can choose the day. About my birthday, August 14th, I'll meet with you on my birthday. You pick the time, and after you put the time, it'll ask you your email and other information, and they'll let me know that you would like that appointment. I will email you back to let you know what monetary information I need from you in order to accurately financially assess you. PayPal is for donations. It's paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Instagram is add me on a girl. Is Coach Steve Money, no spaces. And you can email me about anything. Yes, anything at all. Anything related to anything I have on my channel. Anything that's on your mind, really. CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com is that. And you can ask me about the Ramsey stuff, how I do the after show, Oak Island, financial, any kind of financial stuff, video gaming, computer stuff. I've been a computer tech for 25 plus years. Or if you want to sing the Baby Step song or one of these other songs that I've written, I would love to hear other people sing that. The Baby Step song, I've been singing almost 11 months, and I have not heard a single person outside of myself sing that. So that's a crime. That should be taken care of. Somebody should be interested in singing it, especially anybody that has a better voice than I do, and that would be quite a few people out there. So you can pre-record it, and I'll just play the recording on the after show, or you can do it live. We have that kind of technology in the year of our Lord 2022. Alrighty, everyone, make smart financial decisions every day.